Welcome back, everybody. Going into part 2 of today's episode of Far Verona. Good shapes, everyone. Here's some
Good,
hope for good shapes
good
because
shape.
it's about
Good
to get
shapes.
it's about to get necessary. So let's place
About to get real.
ourselves here. Let's figure out where everybody's at. So if the gangsters arrive at the shop using normal navigational means, they will arrive out front because that is where the cars go. Do you have are you gonna did you text and be like pull around to the back to try to get them to funnel that way, or what? Because they'll by default,
could
unless
do.
you do something about it, they'll show up at the front of the shop.
Yeah,
Let's
I
put
think
Haley made a sign with crayons that says, "Please use back door."
Party in back. Good.
No.
Okay. I mean, yeah, if you text them and you say meet us around the back, then that's certainly something that they
yeah,
take
I would just say, shop closed to avoid random customers coming from back.
Interruption, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The shop is closed.
Close
Okay,
the
so
shop.
they're
Come around back.
in the back alley is a little bit cluttered because they're the vehicles back there. Right, there was that truck kind of blocking part of the alley, and there's another car over here. So that's fine. They'll come in this way, and they'll likely walk through into up that way, into the back that direction. So is there going to be somebody waiting to greet them outside where Peanut was, or also what are you going to do with Peanut? I guess is the other question.
He'll be tied up with you in the shop.
Okay, and then Johnny, you're playing robot bodyguard for Autumn.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
A robot bodyguard.
Right. Okay, and then Haley, where would you like to be during all of this?
We decided I was hiding.
Yeah, I mean it's up to you. I'm asking, where do you wanna be? And if it's hidden, then we can talk about what that looks like.
I'm gonna hide in a dollar bin.
Okay, full of mismatched gloves and stuff. Yeah, okay. All right. Let's place that over here somewhere. All right.
I'm gonna draw it now. Draw the dollar.
What'd you say?
I want to see where all the racks are. I want to see where all the dollar bins are.
Where's the
room
mannequin
itself?
The deal.
So
yeah, where's the deal?
So Yasna, if you look over, you see the mannequins, right? And the first one is still just the mannequin, kind of rubbery human face, and he's holding a fishing line, raised with the fishing pole, and he's got kind of a bland sort of smile. And then right next to him, you see Hadil, and she's dressed like a Minnesota hunter, she's got the laser rifle, and she's just standing perfectly still, just staring into the distance,
Amazing.
not blinking
Love
or
it.
moving. And you
And
watch
in
her
that
a while,
moment-
and she does not blink.
In that moment, that is when Yasna knew she loved you.
Damn it, Vana.
Yeah, so she's
Wow.
just standing perfectly still, over here, pretending to be a mannequin. There's the deal over there. Okay, all right, and then Yasna, where do you want to be?
So I either want to be in the corner there or in the corner here.
Over behind. This is if it's not clear, this is the desk, the counter.
Yes.
So on your side would be the open part of the counter, and then underneath it's full of handguns and knives. And then there's the counter itself, which is made out of I don't know, space glass, so you can't break it. So you can hide, you can go behind there, and you can crouch down, or you could stand up and just menace.
Oh, I want to
them
be
from
noticed, but I just want to
Yeah, so you
be
just wanna-
in a tactical
Okay.
position. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you could easily drop behind it for cover. There's also additional weapons back there that you can grab. All this is a good place, and also you're guarding the office, right? So and this becomes the question then, if they pull in, do you just expect them to come in by themselves, or is Autumn, are you and Johnny going to meet them outside and be like, come on in? How do you want to lure them into the shop itself?
I feel like because they think I'm dead, I want them to come into the shop before they realize the setup, right? I think that makes the most sense.
Okay.
That they're coming in expecting me to be dead, expecting to meet Shark.
Mhm.
And maybe even like, because did we have like sharks' bodies and that? They're all been munched now, haven't they? So they're
Yeah.
all gone. We don't have anything
They're
left.
gone.
Okay.
You have Peanut. Still got Peanut.
Yeah.
I am not trusting Peanut to meet them
Do anything.
out back, and
Oh no.
It's true. So where is
I was
Peanut?
meant
Do you
more
just
for
put
like
Peanut in the store? Put Peanut
I
in the
would
storage
say
room?
I
or-
would say like Hugh and Peanut are actually behind Johnny and Autumn.
Okay.
I guess when I meant behind, I meant, well, would they be coming through the storage, or I mean, I don't know.
Well, we could open it up. We could open the storage and then the doorway into the storage, and then that
Right.
creates like an obvious route for them to come into.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
So, yeah.
perfect. Yeah. All right. So you leave this door open right up here, and then leave this door open, which means there is a cold breeze blowing into the shop through the storage room. The storage room is like unheated to begin with. So there's a cold breeze coming into the shop. You can see from here, if you look, you can see right out into the alley. And then the anticipation is they're gonna pull up and then come in through the storage room because they see the doors open.
Mhm.
That's the hope, I think.
Okay.
Unless anybody thinks otherwise. If anybody thinks that's bad, cool.
That worked.
Okay, so yeah, so you get everything set up, and there is this period of time between, all right, everybody, positions, it's showtime, and then anything happening where the tension is almost at its highest. Like there's almost this feeling of whatever is going to happen, even if it's bad, it will be better than this moment here you're in now, where you're like, they haven't arrived yet. Maybe they're going to show up with rocket launchers. What the fuck's going to happen? That sense of uncertainty starts to get bigger and bigger, and then you hear a car outside. You hear the hum of a repulsor, like a hover vehicle, and then you hear it power down. You hear the doors open outside, and you hear a low voice say, "This is the place. I don't see Shark anywhere. You three, go inside, look around." And then you hear some movement, and you see three men come into view. If you look, I guess only Autumn and Johnny can see them, especially Johnny. So Johnny, you see three guys. Now they're not dressed like Shark and them, where those guys are like, denim vests and mohawks. These guys are like the next level up of thug, where they're wearing sort of semi-tactical looking, just like black outfits. They have guns, which they unholster. They have pistols. They unholster as they come in, and they move with not military precision, but with practiced movement. Right? They've done shit like this before. They're comfortable in what might be a dangerous situation. So you see them. You see these three people climbing. I think it's a woman and two men. They climb up into the storage. They come up into the storage room. They look around, and one of them says to the boss, they're like, "Storage room's clear. Looks like the door of the shop's open." And you see them kind of peer in. Now, are you standing out in the open so they can see you, or do you move so they have to force them to come into the shop?
Could we have set it up so like the racks and stuff kind of obscure the view a little bit, so
Yes.
they would have to move into it to get a clear view? I want to be out in the open, but force them to come into the store before they see me.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, they come in with a sense of they move with certainty, right? So they come in, but they don't. There isn't like a flash and clear kind of like breach. Like they're not leapfrogging to come into the room. They just move with this like arrogance of people who have had weapons before and who know how to use them. So they come in and they see Yasna, right, standing by the counter. Now, Yasna, do you have a weapon in your hand?
I have a weapon
Or
in
is
my
it
hand, but it's
holstered?
not like, maybe it's like behind, you know. I'm like,
I mean, yeah, like my question is, do they see an armed individual when they come in?
no,
Right? When they look. Okay.
no,
Yeah. So you have a weapon nearby. It could be like right next to you, leaned against the counter. But yeah,
right.
okay. So they just see you like arms folded. They look, they see Autumn and Johnny. Haley, can you make a stealth roll for me? Um The
We see
difficulty
you, little girl.
is, let's see. What's this the stat that vigilance is based on?
Vigilance is based on willpower.
Will.
Okay, so it's one purple in this case. So
Aha!
stealth roll with 1 purple in the pool there, Haley.
I'm somehow gonna mess this up. Oh my god. Feel it. I feel it.
No, you don't.
You are
Oh my god,
invisible.
the exact
Just
opposite.
like
I
you just
become
vanished.
I become a hat. I am one with
So 3
the
successes,
dollar
an
hat.
advantage, and a triumph on top of all that business.
S
So
shapes.
yeah, the best shapes there are. They don't even see the bin that you are in. You're so stealthy. So yeah, you are completely hidden from them.
What can I do
Wow.
with
And
triumph in this situation?
so a triumph, you can always use it for. Let me see. You can always use it to get back strain and to yeah, here we go. Upgrade the difficulty of a targeted character's next check. Upgrade the ability of an allied character's next check. So instead of giving them a blue, you can upgrade them. Do something vital, such as shooting the controls to a nearby blast door to seal them shut. Or if you get a triumph during initiative, you get to do something before everybody else does. So in this case, you are perfectly positioned. It's almost like a free story point based on your ability to be hidden. So I would hang on to it, and then you can tell me if you want something you want to do. So you could say, like, can one of them have wandered close enough for me to jump out and Assassin's Creed them and drag them back into the thing or whatever? You have perfect stealth advantage in this situation. Nobody knows you exist.
I've like
Yeah.
climbed inside like a giant teddy bear. I am now teddy bear. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll just
You're
hang
the
on to it.
Ewok we needed from before. Yeah. So hang on to it.
How
You have
dare
basically
you?
like a free story point.
I
Okay. All right. And then they see Johnny. They see Autumn. These guys, I don't think they don't know Autumn. But when they come in, do you say anything? Right? They have their guns like in hand, but they don't point them at anybody. They kind of look confused, like this isn't what they expected. You have a moment to kind of like seize control of the situation before they
Yeah.
turn and are like, "Boss, things are not good. We got to go."
I think that I would very calmly, and at this point you see Autumn's demeanor has changed slightly. The slap has served as something as a reminder, and now we see the straight back. This is how this is how the Vaska family does negotiations, and it is like the straight
Mhm.
back, head up, hands maybe like folded behind the back almost. This is the posture of a noble. And
Yeah.
as I see them, it will be, she'll call out and just say, I suggest you ask your boss to step inside so we can discuss these matters properly.
Oh shit, girl! It's because Haley slapped her.
Yeah, right. Haley's just like, I did such a good job.
And if there's like any hesitation or confusion, I think she adds in a very quick, like, I'm not used to waiting. Get on with it. Bring them inside.
Nice. Okay. All right. Let's have you roll. Let's roll this it sounds like coerce right now. Yeah, because you haven't
Charm?
started
Sounds pretty
negotiating
charming.
yet. It could be charm too. Yeah. Either one seems
Okay.
like fine to me.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that then.
Okay. So difficulty is there's 3 of them, but they still don't have any abilities for it. They're just here to threaten. So yeah, let's say difficulty is 1 and then throw in a black for situational.
Cool. Can I use my blue at this point as well?
Oh
The one
yeah,
from my
definitely.
precog?
Yep.
And then charm.
Perfect.
Just.
That's all you needed. One good shape.
Just one.
Okay. So they look at you, they realize you can see them make the calculation, and then two of them stay, and one goes back outside, and says, you hear situation's changed, boss. And you hear, changed how? Looks like Shark ran into some trouble, but the people in there, they want to talk to you. And is it safe? Safe enough. I'll escort you in, sir. And you hear a pause, and he says, Very well. And there's a moment, and these goons kind of awkwardly, like they don't want to stare anybody down. One of them is looking at Yasna, like waiting to see if you're gonna draw a gun. Like obviously they assume Yasna and Johnny are Autumn's them, right? Where they're like, all right, we'll watch your goons, and you have your goons watch us, and
Yep.
that's how this is gonna go. So this guy over here is like eyeballing Johnny, and this one's keeping an eye on Yasna, and they kind of like move. They move into the shop a little bit. And then this goon comes back with their boss. So the boss is wearing a suit. He has a winter jacket over it, right? Like a parka. But he has a black suit. He's not wearing a tie. He has the button undone. He has like quite dark skin, close cropped hair. I think he's taking off a hat as he comes in. So he's got like a fedora or something on. He's taking it off as he comes in, and he has this kind of like brush cut underneath. And he looks around the room. You can see he has one like obviously cybernetic eye, but it's not obvious because it's low quality. It's obvious because it's like gold. So he looks around, and scans the room, sees Yasna, sees Johnny and Autumn. He sneers slightly, Johnny, when he looks at you. And it's not a sneer of like, you're gross. It's really a sneer of disdain for Autumn. It's the same face, Autumn, that you would have seen had you worn like last season's shoes to the ball, right? He's just like, that's your bodyguard? Okay.
That's your model, yeah.
Yeah, but he doesn't notice Haley the Invisible, who has just become one with the universe. And he doesn't seem to notice Hadil either. Yeah, so he looks around the room, then he looks at you, Autumn, finally. He saves like his lingering gaze for last, and he looks at you, and there's only the slightest like whine of the servos in his eye, like refocusing on you. And he says, you have me at a disadvantage. What happened to Shark and the others?
As you can expect. They came looking for trouble, and trouble found them. But let's not discuss these unpleasant matters. How about some introduction?
He just waits for you to introduce yourself.
You can call me Executive McGuire.
He kind of quirks an eyebrow, as if to say,
Pseudonym, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, he says, I'll forgive you not recognizing me then. You're clearly new to Cabina. My name is Diocles Cowden. And he like, oh god, I just write it to your memory. Yeah, Diocles, that's his name. I will write it down for you.
I do have a note file, but I'm gonna have to do this another time.
That's okay. Might just in chat. So yeah, Diocles Cowden. And he says,
Alden?
I am a negotiator. He like looks around. I assume that Shark and his men are dead at your hand or that of your companions. Another look at Johnny.
Unfortunately so. I had hoped to discuss things before things turned violent, but your man seemed a little unstable. Quite the unpleasant fellow, I must say.
He nods and he says, yes, I will apologize for that. There are some members of our organization who forget the most important rule of supply and demand. Difficult to make money selling something when you're using it all yourselves.
See. Very understandable. Well, Mr. Cowden, there have obviously been some initial troubles, some turbulence, and I wished to speak with somebody who could actually reason matters out. I have arrived here not entirely to my liking and was mistaken about who was running things here. Seems you are far more capable and you have an established enterprise that I have no intentions of trying to disrupt. There is something I need, and I have something to offer you. There doesn't need to be any further bloodshed. Perhaps we can help one another.
I'm listening.
I'll make it quite simple and quite plain. I have a new product, a product that is more efficient, that will be more enticing, and less harmful to your clients, which increases persistent use. I need, well, I need something to help me get off of this planet and where I wish to go. Obviously, you are a well-funded organization, and I'm sure that you have the means of something of that nature in your supply.
So you're offering this product in exchange for transportation? Is that what I'm hearing?
Indeed.
Mm. You see him scowl and he says, excuse me, before we can have this conversation, I need to make a phone call. And he, without so much as a by your leave, he turns and walks out.
You can
into
make
the storage area.
As he's walking, I'll call out like, "You're more than welcome to make the phone call here."
Yeah, he says, if it's all the same, private call. And as he walks out, he's like reaching into his pocket, taking out a fancy looking phone. And heading outside. And he leaves these three goons inside who kind of like shuffle awkwardly and like look at you and like, well,
Okay. Can I,
around.
as he goes out to make that phone call, can I try and flash precog and see the next minute of him and the conversation he's about to have?
Sure. Yeah.
I don't want to take up too much time, guys. If any of you want to jump in, just feel free. I'm sorry if I'm doing all the talking.
Let's have you make a make a roll for it. So you spend the strain. I think the difficulty, it's not you, but it's only close. It's pretty close in the future. So let's just we'll call it two purples.
2 purple. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Oh.
Oof. All right.
What does that mean?
We're getting a lot of these, right? So you get think of it as a mega advantage in the sense that you don't get to see, because you want to be able to see what he's saying and like see the future of his conversation, but you don't get that.
Okay.
You do take a point strain, but
sorry, can we retcon it really quick so I can add my triumphs to give Autumn a upgrade? Yeah.
I don't think there's any way for you to help Autumn with this. Like you're being hidden.
Narratively speaking.
Your stealth, I don't think.
It's tricky.
Yeah,
normally,
it's a psychic power.
So you want to see like what the conversation is like, but you can't get that. But again, that psychic grounding, that sense of being in the room, you can use it to you can spend that triumph on the other triumph stuff. So give yourself an upgrade on your next roll, or give somebody else an upgrade, or whatever, like the normal stuff you can do with triumph. Okay.
And I'll spend that threat as another strain as well.
Yeah. So he goes outside, and you can hear him talking like quietly. Is there anything that anyone wants to do during this period while he's outside? The goons all kind of just like.
Can I just say that, like, as Johnny's next to me, if Johnny looks like the hands behind Autumn's back, her fingers are like fidgeting and twisting, and almost like her nails are digging into her hands as she's trying to keep this front, and it's just like back there.
Yeah, so it's clear that despite Autumn's surface intensity, yeah. Do you say anything when you notice that?
Well, Johnny's not going to say anything. Johnny is impressed with her ability to keep up the facade, and just, he doesn't want to ruin that, so he will do what he does best, and he'll stand there and listen. But he is ready. He's completely ready. He's got that blue die. If anything happens, Johnny will be right there.
Do you want to try? I think you're the only one in any real position to do this. Do you want to try to listen in on what Diocles is saying?
Sure. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Let's
Because
do
I think
that.
I think you have that opportunity. You're the closest to him.
Okay.
So yeah, make a.
Can I use
make
my
a
blue die
perception
for
roll.
that?
Yeah.
And Johnny's
Yeah,
like
make a perception roll and give yourself 2 purples. And
2
anyway,
purples?
sorry, go
Okay.
ahead, Mark.
I was gonna say, because Johnny's like a bartender, like he was designed for bartending, right? And bars are normally really noisy. So this is almost like almost like a part where he can distill out some of the other conversation and hone in on because he would have to drown out like other noise and stuff in the bar, I can almost imagine.
Yeah, well, and
Super
that was
cool.
part of it too, is that Johnny has, I mean, like in a very literal sense, Johnny has microphones for ears and software that controls them, and so yeah, being able to activate some kind of noise canceling and like lowering the ambient volume and like trying to raise certain frequencies, like yeah, Johnny, you're attentive to the situation, and past these guys, you see Diocles outside, and with a combination of reading his lips and actually hearing what he's saying, we see the waveform kind of in your vision, and he goes and he opens the phone, and you see that he just hits a speed dial like button on it. There's a couple of rings, and somebody picks up, and he says he tells this person on the other end of the situation, right? He's like, there's some noble here, and it looks like Shark and his boys couldn't handle the situation. No, I know. This is what happens, ma'am. I'm sorry. Right, a few eggs. That's what I said. So now they want to negotiate. Yes, the recipe in exchange for passage off world. Right, well, I haven't mentioned that to them yet. Of course. Do you think so? There's like a pause. He's listening to her. He says, they have some kind of muscle. Outmoded toaster of some kind of thug. And if it comes down to it, it's a pause. I mean, I think so. I'd rather this didn't turn violent, not again. Right. All right, ma'am. Yes, I'll tell them. And then hangs up.
And Johnny
turns
just,
around,
looks like he
starts
wasn't
walking
paying
back in.
attention.
Yeah, right. And Jenny picked all that stuff up. So Diocles comes back into the room, tucking his phone away and rubbing his hands together because he went outside for 30 seconds. And he comes in, and he looks at the goons look at him like, now is it time for shooting? Do we shoot everybody? Is that what time it is? And he
Is it
kinda
time
gives
to
them a
do the
look.
shooting?
Yeah, he gives him a look like, no, don't worry about it, guys. It's not that time yet. He comes back in, and he says, right, well, I've spoken with my superior. I have permission to negotiate, but it's going to be more complicated than you think. Now,
Please,
you yourself you've admitted to dealing with Shark and Shark's men, and now they're dead, I presume. And he looks over, and Peanut is tied to a chair with a gag in his mouth, kind of like, and the guy just looks at him.
Not
He
all
says,
of them.
We'll discount that one. So he says, between that loss of revenue and the money we've already lost with your product being on the street, I'm afraid there are going to be significant reparations to be paid before we can begin discussing an exchange.
So the cost is my self-defense. I'm not responsible. I tried to negotiate with your men. If anything, this is a lack of correct employee training that is to blame. I'm afraid that the deaths of your men are not on my hands. They're not on my hands. I was simply defending myself.
My employer doesn't see it that way.
Mr. Cal, I'm sure that you can understand. The loss of your product on the street, that will be made up for with the addition of my product. But these men, I mean, how much were they even worth, really? Surely this is a very...
He glances sideways, and you can't tell if he's looking at Yasna or at the guard next to him. He glances over and he says to you, "Our organization values each and every one of its employees, even our subcontractors."
Subcontractors that were likely stealing from your own product, I'm sure.
Puts his hands out almost like it can't be helped. And he says, "Shrinkage is expected in any business."
And please inform.
Johnny's like,
what sort of...
because it's cold outside.
It's cold.
What sort of reparations are we discussing?
So he's gonna say a number, right? And the number represents, and it doesn't matter because we're not tracking individual credits in this game, but he basically gives you a number that is more than you would expect those guys to have been worth if you were buying them. Now we don't buy people, but you have seen exchanges for serfs before.
Absolutely.
If anybody, an Eridanis noble knows exactly how much any given person is worth. So
we know the cost of a life.
Yeah. And so he gives you a number that represents both those specific people and the loss of them in their in the service, and then also a number on top to represent like money they've lost because you've been making it, basically because your product has that theoretically Ernesto has now waiting for you. But he basically says like, we've lost this much money because of you. You killed off these guys. They were worth something to our organization. You pay us this much. Then we can start talking about this other thing. And what's essentially happening here is that while the characters are talking, the players, we're going to make a negotiation roll, because that's what it comes down to, is how successful you are at your negotiating ability. So let me look at Diocles. Diocles has, what is negotiation based on?
Negotiation is based on presence.
Okay.
Damn.
So Diocles Cowden is good at this. Okay, the difficulty is going to be 3 red dice.
He's better than me by 1, because I've got 2 yellows and 1 green. So
and
3
XP.
red dice. I'm 5 short of boosting it by 1, which is really annoying. Because it's not a career skill for me, so I need more to do it. Yeah, but I am going to spend...
You have that triumph from the...
And the triumph.
You have that
from...
The triumph should be like a free story point, so...
Yeah, so I can spend my triumph for an upgrade.
Triumph will buy you an upgrade.
Use a story point.
And then I spend a story point for an upgrade.
Okay.
And then
I got so many story points. I'm gonna spend one as well. Put an upgrade on the other side. Let's just raise all the stakes. Raise them all the way up.
Aww.
And then I am in a... Would you consider this to be polite company?
Yeah, I mean what's at stake isn't necessarily polite, but I think that the two of you are
we're being polite to each other.
Yeah, sure. He's got some special abilities that roll into the results as well. But yes,
okay.
You can.
It's not a huge deal. It's it doesn't add anything, but after I make the check, I can spend 1 strain to add an advantage to the roll, so I can just get a free advantage for spending 1 strain.
Okay.
And then if I roll a triumph, I can use my counter offer.
Yes.
Which I can make him become a good pal of mine. Cool. I think that's pretty much it. So 2 upgrades for me. One
that's how
upgrade
you poach employees, right? Like if you do get to use your counter
It's
offer
like,
thing,
you're
that
actually...
would be him being like, "Wow, maybe you shouldn't leave Cabina. You've got a future here."
Yeah, and I'm
so
thinking of something along with that lines if I can get...
Before you roll, talk through your dice pool. What have you got in the pool right now?
So we have 3 reds for Mr. Cowden's ability, 1 upgrade because you spent a story point. I have 2 upgrades on my story point because I spent 1 story point and my triumph. I also have my negotiation skill, which is going to be 2 yellows and 1 green. Now, Adam, would being from House Eridanus give me any blue dice? Because this is like something is in our wheelhouse, or is that just my training and negotiation?
No, if you had like said something or like leveraged that, been like one does
because I haven't mentioned
negotiate
it yet.
with an Eridanus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Lots of big dice in this one. Here we go.
Chat, please, lend me your energy like a spirit bomb. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Is there a reroll? Look at those yellow dice. Look at that bullshit.
Oh no!
2 yellow dice had nothing. The
Oh
green had
my
nothing.
God.
Massive collateral failure. Okay, so
Is there any way of re-rolling? There's not, right? Like, there's no way.
no.
That's
So
so
here's-
BS. What a BS roll. Oh my god, it's
So
so
you take-
bad.
You take 5 strain. 5 strain.
Of course
which
I
is
do.
quite a
Why
lot.
wouldn't I take 5 strain,
So
Adam?
here's the other thing. So Diocles has a talent called haughty demeanor. Other characters
no.
automatically take 1 strain when attempting a social skill check targeting this
Cool.
character.
Yep,
So you take
I've
a
added
bonus
that.
1 just on
Yep,
top.
did that. Yep.
And yeah, and so
That's
it
not even
just
as like
doesn't.
if those had been failures, it would have been less bad for me because I would have taken less strain.
That's
like,
right. Yeah.
I just what? Why?
Yeah, you are way out of your element here, Autumn. And
I think
kinda love
that's
it.
that's it, right? This is in the negotiations, the veneer breaks and the stress begins to manifest, and she can't quite articulate her words or her points, and it just basically I'm still up. I have 3 strain remaining. Because
Yeah.
I've spent a lot of talents on boosting my strain.
Yeah.
I'm on
Yeah.
14 out of 17 strain.
So Johnny, you watched this happen. You watched
Mhm.
Diocles just like he is very good, and Autumn starts strong, and then you watch him basically dominate the conversation, right? Where she'll make
Right.
a point and he will dismiss it, and the negotiation is like clearly leaning in Diocles' favor.
Okay.
Do you do or say anything, or do you just watch Autumn drown in a sea of her own stress reaction?
Well, I think it would depend if there's a point where Johnny can interject. I think it depends on what they're talking about at the time, because Johnny doesn't have a lot of knowledge about like drug operations, right? He doesn't know about
It's true.
smuggling a lot. So I don't know if he could offer any knowledge or insider information. But I think he probably would at some point wonder, maybe, and I don't know how I would phrase this, but I think he would wonder aloud to Autumn, like, well, maybe, this guy isn't the only person that we're dealing with, and there's actually like a whole team of people that are like on the way to take care of this situation. But he wants to say it in like a smoother way than that, right? Like, I don't just want to be like, hey, I heard him talking on the phone to this other woman. But I think he does want to somehow get it across to Autumn, like, this guy's not operating alone, and he will do something forceful if necessary.
Yeah,
At least
okay.
that's what
So
that's
it's just a
Johnny's take
question-
from it.
That's what Johnny wants to do. So at what point do you speak up, and how do you say that, right? Like you can frame it up however you like, but it is clear to everyone that the moment is slipping away from Autumn.
I tried,
Okay.
guys. I just
You
acknowledge
really
that
did.
she's
You
tried.
How about
you can see she's trying.
Maybe Johnny could just lie, like, and say that, this place is like armed with something, because
Well, that's not a
it's
lie.
the shop, right? And I mean, we don't know. It could be.
Well, no, we know there are bombs. We've planted
know that-
bombs.
Well, yes, but I mean, with maybe like, I don't know, fucking sleep gas or something. I'm really trying to just think of something that would save Autumn, but not necessarily like get this guy to a point of where he wants to start using force.
Oh, you want to like goad the dude, or
Yes.
It's interesting.
Maybe-
Johnny's normally the one ending fights rather than starting them.
Yeah. But I think if he doesn't, well, I mean, if this guy doesn't know, right, then what we know is his disadvantage. So, yeah, I think Johnny would just say something like, well, it's a good thing we have all this defense here. Otherwise, I'd probably be worried that you're trying to steer this conversation back to yourself.
Yeah, and so Johnny speaks up, kind of as Autumn, you are being torn apart by sharks,
Over.
metaphorically speaking. And
Business sharks.
Diocles turns and looks at Johnny like you would look at if a piece of furniture just started talking all of a sudden, right? And he turns and he looks at you, Autumn, and says, "I think your toaster's malfunctioning."
Johnny says, "No, I think someone just turned me up to 10, and you're about to get real burnt."
And the goons, you hear the you hear the telltale slight rattle of tactical equipment as the goons kind of like turn, like, was that a threat? Because that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for a threat. And Diocles goes to put his hand up, like, all right, guys, calm down. But Johnny, if you what you're doing and saying, what are you trying to accomplish? What will you get if you get what you want?
He doesn't
okay,
know.
so there's just no. You're
Well,
just,
I think
you just see Autumn flailing.
He's
You're like,
trying to
I
get
have to
the-
interrupt.
He's
No,
getting
I
the
think-
focus
I think
away
Autumn- Yeah.
from Autumn. Like, he
The
doesn't
failing
want
of
Autumn
the
to get hurt.
negotiation. No, I think
For
like
Autumn,
Johnny's trying to
you-
take the attention
You're at a
away.
point. I was gonna say you're at a point, Autumn, where the negotiation, like, there's no arguing it. Like,
Can't
he
win.
presents a cogent case where you owe him a bunch of money, and like you can't see a way clear of it to devalue these people enough that they're not worth, like, you recognize that he's right. The economic lesson he teaches you holds, right? Where he's like,
Right,
they
yeah.
were worth something
So-
to the organization. This is how much money you owe us, and you can't argue that. Then Johnny
I can't
says
argue
something
that.
which distracts. Yeah.
And so I think that this is the point where I think like I've tried the like Autumn's mind is like, we've tried negotiation. Now it's trying to try and do like, I've tried the Eridanus way. Maybe I should try the criminal way. And when he says the line about Johnny being a malfunction and Johnny saying like, no, maybe somebody's turned me up to 10. I think I kind of straighten my back a little bit and just say like, Mr. Cowden, do you honestly think that I would walk around with my protection looking this way if it wasn't particularly good at what it does? I need to remind you that we took care of your men before. It wouldn't be particularly hard for me to take care of you and the rest of your goons and then deal with this planet by myself. I'm offering you a chance to not only make a profit, but to get out of this without any further bloodshed. Whatever money you think I owe you for the lives of your previous men, I assure you it's nothing compared to the cost of what I could cost you.
Right.
And I think that's the line. Like,
this is how these conversations escalate, where you're like, let's negotiate.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't agree with me? I'm going to threaten you. That didn't work. I
Yeah.
guess it's murder then. Right. And that's
Yeah,
just
and it's-
so.
because like
negotiation
also
fails. So this
Autumn
is-
knows we can't pay this guy. We don't have the
No, you
money to
can't.
like.
No, that's exactly
we
it.
can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Okay. All right. So Autumn has decided to escalate. So this is coerced.
Escalate.
But now Johnny,
sorry,
Johnny is
everyone.
helping. Johnny is helping, right?
Yeah.
So Autumn, what do you have for coercion?
I have 3 greens because it's my willpower.
Okay. Johnny, do you have any training in coercion?
Let's take a look.
You take a look.
Uh,
Haley, you have something? There's a
Can I
thought?
use my triumph to give
A laser
Autumn an
pointer or
upgrade?
something.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Maybe my pistol has a laser sight on it, and I just like put it
I think
between.
I think we don't even need Haley doesn't need to reveal herself to help in this case, because what Autumn is
Okay.
bragging about is
Is
you don't
there's
even
more to this.
You don't even
than-
know my shit. You can't even tell that box
Okay,
of
okay.
gloves. It's got a murderer in it. Like, I think Autumn just knowing Haley is
Okay.
there is enough to. So
Okay.
so Autumn, give yourself an upgrade. Johnny, do you have any training in coercion? No. Okay.
Nope,
so
I only have
so
2
you can give
greens.
yourself. Yeah. So you give yourself a blue die for Johnny's
Okay.
help. Autumn.
Okay.
Before I make this coercion roll, Adam, tell me if I can't do
Yes.
this. I had an idea of using my biopsionics to basically increase his like heart rate, his anxiety,
yeah.
basically put him on edge,
course.
right? Like
Yeah,
I want to
yeah,
try and
right,
destabilize
exactly.
his morale.
That's So mean.
Can I do that?
I would never be able to hang around with somebody with biopsionics because the first I start getting a stomachache and I just be like, "Are you doing this to me? Don't stop it!" And they're like, "I'm not. Never mind." Okay, so yeah, it's gonna cost you. This is great because it'll cost you 2 of your 3 remaining strain.
Well,
to
I
activate
want
this
to
ability.
use my psionic thing. I want to take a wound instead of spending the strain. Like,
okay,
maybe
so
I
you're a
dig the
torch.
nails in. Yeah, I'm gonna
Nice.
torch slightly. Because I
Okay.
need to save that 3 strain for what the inevitable threat I'm about to generate.
Yeah. So you're gonna use your biopsionics to fiddle with his digestive
Yeah, like-
tract and adrenaline
and like his heart
gland
rate
and-
and his, what's the sad chemical in the brain? Whatever that is. Like, basically fuck with his
The sad
bio
chemical.
science. Yeah, the sad chemical. Cortisol.
I think it's
yeah, like
whiskey.
increases cortisol.
Tequila. I think it's vodka.
Yeah, those things.
increase the tequila in his bloodstream. You're a biopsionicist, not an alchemist. So
Yeah.
okay,
So I'm not trying to
so
hurt him. I'm trying to
first-
basically.
So first roll.
Yeah.
First roll, you're gonna roll. The difficulty will just be his body's natural ability to resist. So
Okay, he's resilient.
yeah. He doesn't have any training in resilience, so
It's just his
difficulty is 2
brawn.
purple. Yeah, 2
Okay.
purple.
You got my upgrade, Mark.
This
I want to
that'll be
save
the
that for
next
the
roll.
actual threat.
Yeah,
Yeah, this will be for the
he's-
next.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Uh,
Okay.
Yeah, Autumn is setting
I'm,
this
like,
up with
doing psycho stuff.
psychic assault first, and then
Got
try
you.
to
Got you. Sorry.
Okay,
Nice. Okay.
that's.
All right.
Can I use that advantage to gain a
he-
strain back?
Yes. Yeah, you can. So
Desperately
no one else sees,
taking strain.
no one else sees anything except that maybe he reaches up and like tugs at the collar of his shirt slightly. But Autumn, you know why? Like he's having a slightly harder time breathing, and like you're constricting,
Increasing his body
his
temperature so
blood
he's
vessels.
sweating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he makes like the tiniest face. He handles it like a champ, but he makes the tiniest face and kind of just like reaches up and like pulls on his collar a little. So
Now
okay,
it's the
yeah,
big
and so
boy roll.
I think that'll give yourself another blue die on that other roll for him just being like off balance.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then
So-
1 upgrade from Haley.
Haley gives you an upgrade.
1
yeah,
blue
the
from
Triumph.
Johnny.
Yep.
1 blue from
Another
the
blue
psycho.
from your psychic powers. Yep.
1 upgrade from Haley. And then what was the difficulty on this coercion?
Difficulty is 2. Oh, on the coercion, it is his. What do we use for resisting
Discipline?
willpower stuff? It's not negotiation anymore.
Is it
Yeah, I guess it'd
discipline?
be
for nego-
discipline. It's discipline, yeah, and discipline is
Yeah.
based on willpower.
Yeah.
Okay, so it'll be 1 yellow, or 1 red rather. Sorry, he has
1 red.
yellow for this.
Okay, so he's not actually as good at this.
He's really good at negotiating, but he's not as good as like he's still a toady, right?
Yeah. Cool. And then this is coercion.
Throw one black die on your side because he thinks he has more goons than you, and this is a
Yes.
physical threat, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. Fuck.
He is
Fuck these rolls,
unforced.
man.
Bad shapes. Not the
Mark!
worst
It's too
shapes.
blue.
Bad
Mark!
I hate it, dude. I hate
We're
it so
trying
much.
to help you. Why are you
I
doing
know,
this to us?
I know you are. I'm trying to help me, Vanna. I'm trying to help me. I'm doing everything I can here, okay?
At
I'm
the end of
working
last year,
hard.
what Mark did was he took all of his good luck and put it in a box and sent it to Nebraska, and now Marcus has it, and now you have none. So
No, Vanna has it. Vanna has all my luck.
I stole it
Okay,
from
so everybody
Marcus.
you see this. So Johnny and Autumn turn the heat up a little, right? And you're like, I could cost you so much more. I could wait. What about these guys? They're worth something. You're worth something. And he Diocles he listens to you, and he reaches into his pocket, and maybe the goons are like, oh, he's going for a gun. Like he reaches into his pocket, he takes out a handkerchief, and he like just pats his forehead and some of the sweat that you put on him, and then he puts it back in his pocket, and he says, I understand your reaction. It's very easy to feel angry when you've been outmatched. I don't want you to think of it that way. You can think of this as an opportunity. you pay our organization back what you owe us, and perhaps there's a position for you in the organization. Maybe there's room for you. There's no question that your product is good, but we will be able to reverse engineer it given enough time. And I honestly don't think, and he like looks pointedly at Yasna, looks at Johnny, looks at you. I don't think that the muscle you have here is much of a threat to anyone, least of all us. I would rethink this attitude of yours. Now, let's begin discussions about how you're going to transfer us this money you owe.
Okay, so Haley's gonna shoot one of the goons in the head.
Oh god. I was gonna try and do no, you're gonna give me time to think about it, fuck off. But
No,
sure.
you've had your time, Mark!
Yeah, I've had my time. I've had my
Haley's time now!
You're fair. Yeah, it's Haley's time now. Yeah, you're right. You're 100% right. Here comes the triumph. Here come the 3 triumphs that Haley's gonna roll. It's gonna be triumph, triumph, triumph.
All right. So while this is happening, Haley, you are watching Autumn struggle to gain control of the situation, and Diocles basically has it under control. Right? He's like, "That's it. Like this conversation's over. You're gonna need to just pay up, or else." Basically, and the goons are looking pretty self-satisfied. What do you do, Haley? You watch this all from your secret lair made out of gloves.
Haley wants to shoot at the goons. I think, and the way, like, out of character, in character, I think I'm interpreting this is like, there's a chance that Diocles isn't even armed, or like more lightly armed, or less prepared to physically battle than the goons, and also like our best bet at negotiating, like the literal negotiator, as he's called himself. Like, so I don't think she wants to shoot at him. I think she wants to down as many of the goons as possible to make it clear to him that he doesn't have the upper hand. And then maybe that will shift negotiations. Yeah.
Yeah. If you all 3 just took out his goons like that, that would shit him up, surely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think she's just gonna aim for one of the goons.
Yeah, Haley, you are hidden, and so no one can possibly anticipate this move before it happens. So yeah, you got your gun and you peer out through the pile of laundry with your sniper pistol. And the targeting reticle, it glitters as it beams the light right onto your retina and gives you the heads up display. You track the targets. You can see that the goons are wearing body armor under their jackets, so they have Kevlar vests, essentially Kevlar vests. They have pistols. One of them has a knife in his boot. Diocles has a gun. He has a pistol under his jacket. It's just a little one, but he doesn't seem to be wearing any armor. So you get a little tactical view of the 4 of them, and then this goon here is the closest target. So if you want to try to take him out, you're welcome to do so.
Sure do.
Okay, difficulty is going to be 2 purple for the range. And you're going to use your light ranged. And you're attacking him from a position of total stealth. So give yourself an upgrade and a blue die.
Okay.
Hear that word.
Cool. Let's do it. Ranged light.
Oh god.
Let's go!
Oh my
I knew it! I called it! This is bullshit! I hate it!
Makes me hate.
I love it, but I also hate it.
Okay, so let's talk about this, because the 3 goons are minions. They're what Genesis refers. It's what Genesis refers to as minions. And okay, how much damage? How much damage did we say your laser pistol does? This new pistol that you have. How much damage does it deal?
I don't know. Was I meant to write that down?
1 billion.
Yes, I feel like you've shot someone with it before, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's
don't
still
remember.
a laser pistol, right? I think it's 6 damage.
It's a modified laser pistol. Yeah.
Yeah. My laser pistol
okay.
6 damage. And
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's just
3 is under
ornate and
critical.
has some extra targeting stuff. I don't think it's like extra
Yeah,
damage. or
you
anything.
also you were owed one more blue die because I'll roll it for you. There you go. You get another success. You were owed another blue die because of the targeting on the weapon itself. So okay, so
This is
a
gonna do
fancy
so much
laser
damage.
pistol, it's six damage, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 damage total.
Yep. And then the triumph can be a
So
crit.
11, 10, 9,
can-
so 8 damage because of soak. The triumph is a crit. So let me see here. You've got
You gotta roll
8
the
damage,
table,
which is
Can I hit 2 of them if with rolling that high?
I'm trying to figure out if you kill 2 or 3 of them.
Oh.
Because they're like, there's like a group of them, like the way the minions work.
They're a
It's really
group,
cool.
and so okay.
Yeah.
So they have the group has 15 wounds, and every 5 wounds that you do kills
Kills the
one of
guy.
them. They have a soak of 4, so you deal
8.
12, and then a crit kills 1 automatically. So 1 is dead for sure. Then the remaining 12 is reduced to 8. So you kill 2 and gravely injure the third. They go from 15 down to 10, down to 2. 15 to 2. If you'd done 2 more damage, you would have killed all 3 of them. So which 2 do you want to kill? You basically just from nowhere just and 2 of them drop. Which 2 do you want?
I think
Like this
the
one and that
ones
one?
on either side
Yeah,
of
that's kind of what I
Diocles.
figured.
Because then maybe it's harder for him to tell where it's coming from. And it's also just like, we got you surrounded, like that kind of energy.
Yeah, I mean they'd see like where the shot came from, kind of like so
Sure.
it's fast, it's loud, and it's sudden, right? So it's just like and the 2 of them just smoking holes drop to the floor. And then I think everything kind of happens, right? Like that's when the chaos kind of erupts. So let me see. There's a roll to determine order, and then we can talk about initiative because we haven't actually done it before in this game.
Are you
so
cool?
when you determine initiative order, yeah, it is based on either cool or vigilance, depending on the situation. Here we go. All right, so if you are aware of and ready for combat, you roll your cool. If combat begins unexpectedly, you roll vigilance. So I think in this case, probably you guys are rolling cool and they're rolling vigilance. I think because they didn't expect you to just start like murdering them. So the way it works, everybody roll cool. Go ahead and roll that.
Johnny's
Haley,
cool.
I mean,
you
and I
included.
like I make note, like my vigilance is higher. Did I actually know this that this was going to happen?
I think you are ready for a fight, but in this case, like
Okay.
honestly,
I mean, I
think you
have the
could
same
roll
dice pool
either
either way, but
yeah.
okay, cool.
So yeah,
Cool.
just go ahead and roll, and then we'll talk about how that works.
Sorry, what do we add to our dice pool?
There's no difficulty on these ones. You just roll
Right.
flat, unless you have like a wound. Then that gets added.
Well, I thought I just.
So do we
rolled.
have anything? Yeah, in our dice pool. Sorry, I don't think I have.
No, just clear your dice pool and just roll cool on its own. Yeah, there's no
Okay.
difficulty dice added to this.
Okay.
Mine's not rolling. I'm
What's
Oh yeah,
having
mine's
happening
not
to
rolling
Mark?
either.
Nah, mine's not rolling.
Mine's not rolling.
Everybody's just stopped rolling. Okay, cool.
Mine's not rolling, Adam.
I understand. I don't know why.
Adam.
God, everybody stop
Dad.
yelling at me. Hold on.
What's the point in rolling? I'm just gonna get like.
Fuck out of here,
Poor
Eeyore.
Autumn.
Oh man, the best. Okay.
Stupid
let's-
fragile human. I should have been a synth.
Should have been
Roll.
born a cool
Now roll.
robot like all my friends.
Cool.
Let's
Broke
see
Adam.
here. I didn't break it. It's not me. It's just
Broke
the
Adam.
API.
Haley broke it with all of those successes.
I
The
think
game's
so.
like,
think
I
that's
can't
right.
handle all of them.
You've run out of all the good dice. Let's.
You still
let's
wink,
take-
Vana? Were you just like,
Okay. Let's see. spin
I'm
it
sorry
back
for my
up.
salt. I'm sorry.
That's
Salt's okay.
okay. So there we go. Okay. All right. So that was just a test roll. It doesn't mean anything. Go ahead and holy Jesus. There we go. Now we're getting rolls in. Okay, so this is a special roll. You
Oh
don't
my
get any like
God.
extra. You don't get any
hang on.
recovery for this roll. But what we do is, so
That's not
Haley,
right.
you've got these. You have to re-roll all of these because you're rolling from my pool as well. Let these things clear, and then we'll roll again. Because you
I
have
was
a bunch
like,
of extra stuff
what?
from my test roll.
That's
Okay, there you go.
not
All right,
right.
everybody. Let's do it
Now
again. Ignore
roll.
everything that's on there and make a
Take it.
cool roll. Yeah. So there you go. Perfect. Okay. All right. So Haley, you got 1 success and 2 advantage, right?
Look at you go, Mark.
Okay. And then
You
Yasna
like
got
can't
1.
fail with this dice unless you just get
Yasna got 1
blank
success.
dice.
Johnny got 3 successes and 2
Why?
advantage.
Why are you like this? Why do you punish me?
And then
Why do you hate me so
Autumn,
much?
Autumn also got 1 success. Okay. Now I got to roll
I
for
had
my
one more dice than Yasna and got the same.
NPC. Okay. So give me a second to look at the stats for these goons. What is cool or what is vigilance based on? It's based on Cunning?
Willpower.
it's
Willpower.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So goons
Johnny's
got
so
2
cool.
successes. Okay, and then Hadil, I think has 2 and 1. Okay, 2 successes, 2 advantage, and then Diocles has a vigilance of 2, so it's 1. It's 2 yellow. Okay. All right. 1 and 1. Okay. All right. So the way this orders is we use successes rolled as the number and then advantage as a sort of decimal on the number. So like 3 successes and 2 advantage is better than 2 successes and 2 advantage, but not as good as like 3 and 3. So it's the advantages are a secondary number for counting that stuff up. So we also don't roll for individuals. We roll per side. So the first person to act is any player character. Then it's any NPC 3 times in a row. So what'll happen is 1 person will get to go, then 3 NPCs will go, then the other 3 players will go, and then you rotate back to the beginning. But whoever takes that first slot, you can't go again until we reach 3S2A one more time. So who gets to go, and what happens? So Haley pops
It's gotta
up,
be Johnny. Right?
shoots those 2 guys.
Johnny or
Any
Jazz.
person can go,
Sorry, I
any
shoot
player
3
character.
guys. I shoot 3 guys.
You just didn't kill the third guy.
I just didn't kill the third.
Right. That's right. The other guy grabs his leg like and like falls to one knee. That guy got Wilhelmed. Does Haley just take another shot? Is it just Haley's turn again?
No,
try
I
to finish the
I
job?
feel like Johnny,
or
would you,
Yasna.
since you're right up there in the action?
Yeah. And also,
Yeah.
Johnny rolled the most cool.
Well,
Yeah.
Johnny's very cool. Johnny's very
Johnny,
cool.
cool boy,
Johnny's
but
cool.
so toast.
So Johnny, do you wanna go then? We do Johnny first.
Johnny wants to go.
Okay, Johnny, what are you gonna do? So on a combat turn, because we're actually doing combat. Normally, we could reset up this map. I'm just gonna pop you over to show everybody. We could reset up the map on the range band map, but because the room is so small, nobody is gonna be anything further than medium range from anything else. So
Okay.
this is a map I use to indicate difficulty. The further away you are from something, the more difficult it is. You can make a maneuver, which will let you move closer or further from a target. Or you can make a ranged attack. Maneuvers are also drawing weapons, kicking open doors, like doing things that are not like acting in combat. So
Okay.
Johnny, right now you are what the range bands would call, you are engaged with Autumn. So you're right next to Autumn. You
Okay.
are at short range from Hadil, Haley, Diocles, the remaining goon, right? And Yasna. Everything that's in this room is at short range for Johnny because Johnny's in the middle of the room.
Okay.
So you could theoretically move from short range to close range to get up where those guys are. But you tell me what you want to do, and then we'll talk about mechanically what it looks like and whether you could do it in one round.
Okay. Y'all ever seen Dudley
Yeah.
from Street Fighter? The guy that he punches. He's real punchy. He's a real punchy guy. That's what Johnny wants to do. He wants to just uppercut the fuck out of Diocles.
Okay, so you want to rush forward and just
Yes.
Shoryuken this guy into the ceiling?
Yes. I want to quarter
Okay.
circle punch this guy, and I wanna see if it can be done.
You move slightly towards
Shoryuken!
the coach, kind of, and then okay, all right. So to be able to melee attack somebody, you need to maneuver into engaged with them. So that will require 2 moves,
Okay.
which you can do if you, I believe, if you spend strain. I think you can spend some strain and take an extra maneuver. Yeah, let me
Okay.
look.
So okay, wait, what exactly would I roll for this?
So hang on a second. You don't have to do anything. I'm just double checking the cost. I think that is how it works.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Because
Yeah, so
I'm
it's
wondering like
one-
if this is possible to. Sorry.
Oh, you're already at short range. So be short. Yeah, you don't actually. You can move
Short to
once
engage.
to get you into
Yep.
engage. Yeah, because you're already short. So short to engage. So you can just rush towards him, and then it's a brawl. It's a brawl
Brawl.
attack.
Brawl. All right. Here we
Brawl.
go.
Bro.
Get ready for that
So
brawl.
you're gonna make a brawl. You're gonna make a brawl attack.
No!
Holy
You gotta roll-
Need to add,
there's-
need to add
there's-
difficulty.
There's difficulty dice
Wait.
too. So
shit.
put 2
Uh.
purples in your pool. Yeah, and
purples.
hang on. Don't roll yet.
I forgot about my
add-
difficulty.
I know you're excited. I know. I hear you. So add 2 purples to the difficulty. He is not wearing any armor, so there's no defense. He really didn't expect to get in a fist fight. Yeah, go ahead and okay, now roll with the 2 purple in the
Can I use a story point?
for an upgrade? Yeah, of course.
Yeah, dude.
Do it.
Yeah. Okay. So
You know what, we're running out of rolls. You add an upgrade to both sides.
oh
I'll
shit.
spend a story
Okay.
point as well.
Okay. So story point, does that go?
Yeah, it'll be 2 on your side, 1 upgrade. On the difficulty side, 2 purple and 1 upgrade.
Okay. Alrighty. All right, let's do it. This is gonna be
Shoryuken.
it's
Here we
gonna
go.
be
Johnny
a
runs
huge brawl
forward
roll.
towards Diocles.
Johnny punch.
Diocles,
Johnny
Diocles
punch
shouts,
it.
Diocles
Yes.
shouts something to the effect of, "Wait, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
And then you run up and
Yeah, he
smack him
definitely
one.
has
Okay.
like a fencing stance at first, where he just kind of like he puts him up,
Mhm.
put him up
Queensby.
the dukes. Yeah, and he just straight up just like that scene in Hercules where he winds it up and boom, just right underneath the guy's chin.
Awesome. All right, so you run up, you punch this guy as hard as you can. What is your brawn for?
Yeah.
Okay, so you do 6 damage.
We need to
Minus
like
the two
get
s-
Johnny like
2 so.
some upgrades to his arms so that he
Yeah.
can like his
Yeah.
punching is as like powerful as like a laser or
Right.
something. Like he's got
Right.
like shock arms where he's got like hydraulics or something where he can be like
Okay, so you got 4, 5, 6 successes, which is reduced down to 4 by his soak. Okay, so you don't knock him out, but you ring his bell pretty good. So you rush up,
Ding, ding,
punch him in the
ding.
face, and he staggers
He's punched
back,
by a robot
grabs
man.
his face, blood everywhere, and then the NPCs get to go.
Wait,
So-
can Johnny say a thing?
All right, Hadil. Hadil's the
Absolutely.
first
So
NPC
Johnny,
to
here's the thing.
go.
Johnny,
Please.
this will be the moment, right? Because we're gonna end on the punch, and we'll pick up on the NPCs fighting back next time. So Johnny, you got the last line of the episode. What do you say?
He just says something dumb like everything bagel, extra cream cheese.
Perfect. Total nonsense. I love it.
Oh my
So yeah,
god!
you rush up and bang, just slam him in the face. He staggers back. You say some threatening nonsense, and then we'll find out. We'll find out next time what happens with the one remaining goon and Diocles here. I'm just blown away at Haley's ability to kill people.
Oh my god.
I'm very.
I'm
I'm very
not. Why is
impressed
everyone
by
so
that.
surprised at this? Haley was
Dude.
she was born
Thank
for this, dude.
the
Thank you,
like
Elspeth.
the secret monologue in Yasna's head is just like, "Wait, what? Maybe I should like train her to be a killing machine. Like
Killer.
she's
Maybe she
like
should train
really
you,
good at it. Like,
Yasna. Maybe Haley should train you.
oh girl,
My
you
God.
don't
I
know the
really-
things
Oh,
I've
girl.
seen and done.
Oh, girl.
This kid's
Every-
dice
That
rolls.
was amazing though.
If
Every
they
role-playing
ever
game in the
fail,
history, every role-playing game in the history of role-playing games eventually comes to a moment where two players are like, my character could beat up your character, and they're like, no, they couldn't, and then you just
We got to
have
get to a
find
western
out.
themed town before we
Right.
do
Woo,
that.
woo,
That's
woo.
right. That's right. Exactly. Very nice. Good,
That was
good job,
awesome.
everybody. Cool. Well, let's do some
Yeah,
shout outs.
good
We'll hand
job.
out some experience, and then we'll go and record the post show where we can let Mark scream about his bad luck for 20 minutes straight.
I'm
Mark, why
done.
don't you
I've
start
got
us-
nothing
Mark.
left.
Start us
Yeah,
off wherever
Thanks.
you are. Go.
Thanks,
Go ahead,
Adam.
Mark.
Hey, it's me, Mark. High rollers Humes. Come and watch my D&D show, High Rollers, every Sunday at 5 o'clock UK time. It's really good. We play D&D with all my friends, and I roll well. Good time. I also stream on my own channel now, very regularly, every week, 7 o'clock UK time, various days. Thanks for Adam and the cast, and for letting me come and play and be useless. Thanks.
Aw.
You're not useless.
Mark.
You were a
Wah, wah, wah.
badass drug baroness.
Beautiful.
You were.
Well, in
Until
attempt,
you
in
weren't.
effort. Yeah,
Yeah.
A for
Today's-
effort.
Yeah, exactly. Today's award for good try goes to
Aw.
Bottom bet.
down below, playing Yasna Solari, djWheat, do the thing.
I just want to say thank you. Like I get some feelings of mirror shades in this group a little bit, like plans that are like, yeah, we could totally make this work, and then they don't work, but we make it work anyway. So
That's right.
shout out MVP Haley. Yasna bows to your elite pistol skills, but it's obviously all the gun. We'll see how you do with just a regular
Wow.
pistol.
Okay, I'm gonna rip
I'm
your
just
throat
kidding,
out
I'm
with
just
my
kidding.
bare
I'm DJ Reed.
hands.
I love you guys. I love you guys.
Wow. Intense
Leave
stuff.
it to a
Did you wanna-
man to say some shit like that. My God.
Oh shit! That
Please,
was
Vanna, why
Yasna.
don't
That was
you- why
all
don't you do the-
Yasna.
do
Oh,
the-
you
do
weren't
the
talking in a
shout-outs.
dumb accent. That was you, Marcus. Can't
How do
fool
you know?
me.
Will be known-
Whoa.
No, the post show is canceled. The show's over. I don't want anybody to kill anybody in real life. We gotta go. No, please do your shout outs,
Oh,
Vanna.
shit.
You have the
Oh,
stage.
okay, hello. Hi. Just want to clarify, I love everyone on this cast as much as I threaten their lives on a daily basis. But yeah, you can find me streaming 5 days a week. Hypothetically, I've been in like a panic attack for the past week, so I haven't really been streaming, but eventually I will be back to stream 5 days a week on my channel, twitch.tv/Vana, VANA. And you can find out the other stuff I'm up to on twitter.com/Havanarama, HAVANARAMA. And I'm going to be GMing a game right here on the Rollplays in 2 days, Monday the 20th at 11 a.m. PST, 2 p.m. Eastern. Is that how that translates? It's a Frozen 2 inspired one shot, and I've got a lot of amazing ladies involved, and I'm super stoked about it. And then you can find me every Tuesday at 8 p.m. PST in my 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons game, Pirates of Salt Bay, over on Saving Throw Show, twitch.tv/Saving Throw Show. And then I have a YouTube, I guess, but I don't know.
I think that's pretty much how everybody
I don't
feels
know.
about YouTube these days.
Oh,
YouTube exists.
God.
You
That's
do
all.
the thing.
Oh wait, yeah, no, not it's the Frozen game isn't D&D. My friends and I, Abria Irongar at Quiddy and mostly Eric, Eric Reichert, created a new system for the Frozen game on
That's
Monday.
amazing.
Nice.
On accident,
Very
just
cool.
went a little intense. I think if you want to know more about that, I think the character creation is up on the Patreon right now. So
Nice. Excellent.
That's awesome.
Cool. Last but not least, the bagel serving robot, Johnny.
Hey.
Goons.
Hey,
Elspeth,
what's up?
take
I'm
it away.
I'm
Hey, what's
Elspeth.
up?
You can find me at twitch.tv/Elspeth,
Yes.
or you
Let's
can
go.
go
Let's
on
go!
Twitter. Find me at Elspeth Eastman. I stream 5 days a week, and I also work these guns 5 days a
Oh
week.
yeah.
Mm.
Oh yeah. Them punching
Anyway.
guns.
Anyway, it was good to be actually useful today, and I was very happy that. Hi, my face is over. My face is over here. It was really good to actually punch a guy. All right, fine. There you go. Anyway, I'm on
Elspeth the
Twitch. You can
talking
find me at
bicep.
Twitch. It was good to be here. I appreciate the entire cast for always making this so fun. Thank you to everyone who always comes out to watch and support and comment and chat. You're great. Thanks a lot. Appreciate
Gotta
you guys.
reload
Thank
your
you,
guns
Elspeth.
now, Elspeth. Like Henry
No.
Cavill. You gotta
Put 'em away.
reload them.
Well, I don't know if it's just a bioscientist nearby or Elspeth's guns making me feel nervous, but I'm glad the show's over. Thanks for coming, everybody. You can find me doing my thing on Twitter at skinnyghost or on twitch.tv/Adam Coble. Right after the post show is done recording, I'm going to jump on my own channel and we're going to do a little bit of our Verona Discord server faction turn game design stuff. I've been doing that the last couple of weeks, and we're going to hopefully finish the goals thing today. So if you want to check that out, if you're part of the Patreon and you like the faction turn, you can come in and check that out. That'll be probably like 1:30 or 2 over on my channel. And then I have a new show starting in that same place on Monday night at 5 p.m. Pacific. I'm going to be playing Zweihander. Our first Zero episode starts on the 20th of January. So hopefully you'll come on by for that. Otherwise, keep tuning in for more Far Verona and Core Swords and One Shots and Echoes of Eternity. We got lots of RPG content right here where you already are. Just keep coming back. Experience points so that people can buy skills they obviously so desperately need, Mark. Let's see here.
Got plenty of good dice.
Everybody gets the base level. Does anyone have a motivation that came up today that complicated their characters' lives in a meaningful way? Anything?
I mean, Johnny
Set
punched
up
the guy,
for a
and
fight,
that
so
felt
there
great,
wasn't-
but I don't
yeah.
think he gets like any extra experience.
There wasn't a lot of like conflict, right? We didn't really get it.
No.
It was like Marcus said, this was the planning episode. So yeah, we'll see.
Would Autumn's recklessness, because she wanted to, rather than have Haley take it, like she wanted to step up, or is that you not thinking?
I think recklessness in this case would be like Autumn uppercutting the dude, like realizing the negotiations were failing and then like,
Being
trying
like,
to kill
"Let's
all of them
kill
with your mind or
Right.
yeah, I
Okay.
feel like you were actually pretty like careful in setting up the situation, which is good and fine. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, we're gonna go and record the post show. If you want to check that out, patreon.com/roleplay. We will see all of you next episode for more Roleplay for Verona. Thanks for coming, everybody.